This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check, saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented active and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.
Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Transit News Magazine. This month, we're at the 111th Annual American International Toy Fair right here at the Jacob Javits Convention Center. I'm Thalia Perez.
There are over 1,000 exhibitors from 26 different countries with the hottest and latest toys any child would want. But there are also some cool toys and classics for us grown-ups. I'm Lena Lansky.
Lena, more than 30,000 people are participating in this toy fair, and that includes buyers, importers, sellers from more than 100 different countries.
And don't forget, there are some very, very cool transit toys too. So before we take a look at this year's selection on this month's show.
Looking for some new New York City art? I'm Mike Dixon Goldstein, and I have that story.
Here with Jonathan Marks from Darren Worldwide Trading, makers of die-cast buses. Jonathan, tell us about the company.
Well, Lena, the company was started about 25 years ago. We have a lot of licensed product. We specialize in aviation. We also do a lot of New York City and MTA, and it's been really great product for us. Kids seem to love it, and they're buying buses left and right.
Is there anything new coming up this year for Darren?
Yes, this is a new bus for us. It has lights and sound and music, and it's called a bump and go, and it goes in a bunch of different directions, and it's really cute. And it's designed for the younger consumer. It goes along with our other line of buses, the articulated bus, and then the shorter 11-inch bus. The doors open, everything is friction-based, and it really moves great. A lot of kids love it.
Which ones are favorites for adults?
The adults typically get the more realistic, larger buses, the articulated bus, and the other one. There's a lot of play value in them, but they're also to scale, which helps them design New York City landscapes.
There are lots of stories about people falling in love on a bus or a train, like in the movies, It Happened One Night and Speed. Last month at the New York Transit Museum, there was a very special event where people reconnected all in the name of love. Here's Jesse Mislavsky with one of my favorite annual segments, Misconnections.
On Valentine's Day, the New York Transit Museum hosted their Misconnections party. This event celebrates the brief encounters and unexpected romances that blossom on subways, buses, and trains.
So this is the 4th year of our Misconnections event, so it's a chance for people who might not have ever been to the museum before, a kind of a different crowd to check it out. And if you've seen the Craigslist Misconnections, it's a chance for people to maybe make it into a made connection at the museum. It's a chance for, on Valentine's Day, to have some fun, kind of see the lighter side of transit.
While most New Yorkers prefer to grumble about their morning commutes, Misconnections offered a chance to show some love for public transportation with tasty treats and fun activities sponsored by local vendors.
We are a fully functional urban winery that's based in Williamsburg, Brooklyn. We make our wine in-house, but we also have a wine bar and an events venue when it's not harvest season. But we like to take part in community events, and especially Brooklyn-based and New York-based, that are specific to our interests, and obviously this is one of them.
So Cheeked is like online dating in reverse. So you spot an intriguing stranger on your morning commute, maybe on the subway, and you're getting off at your stop. You can simply slip them a cheeked card. And on one side, that card says you've been cheeked. Then there's a unique code that leads to a privacy-protected online dating profile on the cheeked website. So it's really the answer to misconnections.
Other activities included cookie decorating, karaoke, poetry writing, and a photo booth that had guests grinning from ear to ear.
I saw that there was a sugar cookie decorating table over there that I'm really drawn to, so.
I'm also excited to work on writing some love poems and the karaoke and kind of all of it. We've been talking about this event for a while here at the museum, so I just keep telling everyone I know, and I'm like, come out to Misconnections.
They may have missed their train or bus, but they found their misconnections here at the Transit Museum. I'm Jessie Maslowski reporting for Transit News.
Since 1833, Bachmann Trains has been known for its quality products and is the world's largest manufacturer of train sets. I'm joined right now with Doug Blaine of Bachmann Trains. Doug, tell us what's new this year.
Oh, we always have great new products for you at Bachmann. We have new products in N, HO, O, and large scale.
And are those the locomotives that actually have sound and blow out some smoke?
We do. We have locomotives that smoke, have digital sound or speed synchronized sound. And the newest products on the market, a lot of them have DCC or digital command and control, where you control all the features yourself.
So you must have a favorite.
I do. I have many favorites. Some of my favorites are transit related in terms of the trolleys or our Acela Express train. Can go at a realistic scale speed of 150 miles an hour. They have lighted interiors. It is digitally controlled. And for extra realism, as the trains travel around curves, the cars tilt to mimic the actual operation of the real trains.
It takes an artist to reproduce these iconic trains, but on a larger scale, MTA Arts for Transit has subway art cards on real cars. Here's Michael Knutson-Goldstein checking out that art.
MTA Arts for Transit and Urban Design have recently debuted their 2014 subway art cards. In 1999, the MTA began commissioning 5 to 6 artists each year to create compelling graphic art. This year, 3 new art cards will adorn panels and subway cars throughout the system for riders to enjoy.
We've been doing the art card program for over 10 years, and we have a range of really incredible artists who have done work with us over those years, including Peter Cease, Sophie Blackle, Beatrice Carone, Tim Zeltner. So we're very excited to launch these 3 new works by 2 different artists, James Gulliver Hancock and Susan Farrington. And each of the artists bring this real great sense of whimsy and kind of playfulness to the images that they present in the trains.
Arts for Transit is constantly on the lookout for different kinds of illustrators to bring a new and fresh perspective to art cards that are produced every year.
Whenever we're looking at artists, we're looking to have artists who understand New York, who have kind of a feeling for the subway, and we want images that will be something that people can look at for the whole year. The art cards are selected in the beginning of the year and printed, and then they're up in subway trains for a solid year, so people get a chance to see them over and over again.
Where can somebody view these art cards?
The art cards are on a range of different new subway cars throughout the city, so anytime you get on a train, you may have the chance to see one of these really wonderful and incredible new pieces of artwork.
What if somebody wanted to purchase this art?
The art cards are available at the New York Transit Museum store, at their store in Brooklyn or in Grand Central, or online at transitmuseumstore.com. The great thing is that the revenue that's produced from that all goes to support the educational and exhibition programs at the New York Transit Museum. So if you want a card for yourself, you can go out and pick one up and frame it and put it up and remember your time on the subway.
And New York City subway riders really do enjoy experiencing this artwork on their commute.
It really shows all about what New York is about, like the coffee cup, the ice cream, the hot dog stands, and most of all the good stuff about it.
I like it. I like the buildings, the Chrysler Building, I see the foot traffic, I see the above ground and below ground. I think it's a nice representation.
Art is in the eye of the beholder, and Transit has some art for you to behold. I'm Mike Knutson-Goldstein reporting for Transit News.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Transit News Desk.
I'm Pete Palomero. On February 12th, 17-year veteran bus operator William Pena was tragically killed when a stolen box truck collided with his M14 bus near West 14th Street and 7th Avenue in Chelsea.
The TW is in great mourning right now. We've been down this road before. We've averaged about a fatality a year if you combine the bus and subway side of the house. Bus operators have among the most dangerous jobs in the United States of America. Operating a bus on the streets of New York City or in any big city atmosphere for that matter, but particularly in New York, is incredibly dangerous. And I don't think the overwhelming majority of riders that use the system every day and interact with our bus operators realize the amount of danger that these men and women put themselves in every day when they get behind the wheel of a bus.
The highly respected bus operator leaves behind a wife and 17-year-old daughter. For union members who wish to help the family of William Pena,
the union will immediately step in and begin rendering assistance to his family by way of our Widows and Orphans Fund, and every Local 100 member can contribute to that Widows and Orphans Fund. It's a charitable deduction and it could be taken directly out of your paycheck. You can put an application into the MTA and give a few bucks a week, and those few dollars a week collectively from the 36,000 members that we have employed by the MTA will go a long way toward taking care of not only bus operator Pena's family, but the families of all future fatalities as well. It's a very important element of what we do, is taking care of our own.
Our hearts go out to the family and friends of William Pena. Turning now to other news, following a 2-year construction period, folks who use the Dyckman Street station on the number 1 line were recently treated to a beautifully rehabilitated destination. And our own Mark Gross was at the Upper Manhattan stop as they cut the ribbon.
The MTA's 2-year rehabilitation of the Dyckman Street station was marked by a ribbon-cutting ceremony last month. MTA officials and community leaders gathered to mark the renovations and upgrades of this historic station.
Beginning in 2010, the station underwent a major $31 million project, including repairs to the interior and exterior areas of the station. There are new concrete platforms, the Fort George Tunnel portal has been refurbished, there are new platform windscreens, new canopies, and a new control area, all with restored historic finishes.
A new state-of-the-art elevator, ramp, and modification to the platforms have made the Dyckman Street station ADA compliant.
It's very hard to get everybody's attention in New York City and make people pay attention to a problem of people with mobility impairments. But we join with all the moms and dads with strollers that have been using this station and appreciate it, the elevator. And we also appreciate that the MTA adopted a policy of making everything accessible when they can.
It's great to have an elevator, have any elevator at this station.
Commuters expressed their satisfaction with the new renovations and attention to uptown trains.
It's pretty good. It's standing up pretty well. We still did the same courtesy, same on-time trains. We're doing good.
I mean, it was falling apart. It's nice to see that uptown's getting some attention.
It's 2014. It's a new year for a new station. I'm Mark Gross reporting for Transit News.
Right in the middle of a cold and snowy winter, Super Bowl fever hit New York City, and the MTA got in on the action with a limited edition Metro card. Here's Anisha Vargas on Super Bowl Boulevard in Times Square.
The Super Bowl is the biggest sporting event in the U.S., and this year it was hosted here in the New York, New Jersey region. And what better way to celebrate and promote it than to put it on a Metro card?
Actually, advertising has been part of MetroCard pretty much from the beginning of the program. Very early on when we started with MetroCard to develop a kind of buzz and get people interested in the cards, different images were added to the cards of sports figures, local street scenes and so on, just to get a little buzz going on the card, to get people interested in purchasing them. And very early on in the program, advertisers started to approach us. From then on, advertising has been pretty much part of the program on some level with the cards.
As Super Bowl fever gripped the city, the MTA introduced a series of commemorative Super Bowl Metro cards. This advertising effort is the latest in a series of initiatives to ensure the MTA is receiving the maximum value it can from selling advertising space.
The MTA was working with the Super Bowl host committee on different aspects of the logistics for the game, and one of the things that came up was the opportunity of possibly advertising or promoting Super Bowl on the MetroCard. We looked at all those different features and finally came up with 4 beautiful cards.
Though the Super Bowl is over, it doesn't mean the cards have lost their value. In fact, they may be worth more than when they were first printed.
You see promotional MetroCards on sale for eBay all the time. So there is definitely a collector's market out there.
If you're interested in having your product advertised, there's an easy way to do it.
We advertise MetroCard promotions on our website, mta.info. On the main page of the website, halfway down the page, there's a tile that says Advertise on MetroCard. Click on that and all the information's there in terms of how to advertise, production specs, our rate sheets, and so on.
And if you want to promote yourself, there's no better way to do it than through the MTA.
MetroCard is an iconic image of New York, and I think the promotional MetroCards get to be a piece of that.
Everyone here had a great time in New York with our Super Bowl MetroCards and all the Super Bowl events. And as a part of the MTA, we would like to congratulate Russell Wilson and the world champion, Seattle Seahawks. Reporting from Transit News, I'm Manisha Vargas.
Thanks for watching. I'm Pete Palomero. Now back to the show.
Hey guys, I'm with Isabel Carrion. She's a trend specialist for the Toy Association of America, and she's going to tell us what some of the highlights are of this year's show.
Well, Toy Fair is the largest toy trade show in the Western Hemisphere, so they can expect to see hundreds of thousands of new products that will be debuting during the holiday season this year. Every year we have new trends that debut. Another example is a larger-than-life trend, which we're seeing where toys are coming in big. So maybe might not seem big to us as adults, but for kids, it's just so much more fun to have a life-size doll or something that they can relate to one-on-one.
I'm here with Bill Schmelk from Lionel Trains. Bill, tell us what's going on this year for Lionel Trains.
Well, we're offering a wide range of new sets, ready-to-run sets, which all now feature a remote control operation. We have some themed sets, Polar Express, Thomas the Tank Engine. We have a new track system. For those who remember the old 3-rail track system, we have a new system called Fast Track, which is very easy to connect. There are no loose pins, goes together nicely.
I see that you have some New York City Transit subway cars behind you.
We've actually worked with the New York Transit Authority with those sets, and the set you're looking at there is a special Subway Series set with both Mets and Yankees logos on them. And we've done a series of Major League Baseball sets for different teams.
It wasn't that long ago that driving a bus or a train was considered a man's job, but certainly things have changed at New York City Transit and many doors have opened for women. Here's Trina Moore with our Women's History Month story.
Before World War II, the majority of transit workers were men. Many believed that the railroad was a dangerous place for women. In fact, the very idea of recruiting women into the transit workforce was deemed as a long shot. But when America's men were called on to fight in World War II, women were called to work, and they worked hard. Elizabeth B. Johns was one of the first female conductors on the suburban Pennsylvania Railroad. However, it wasn't just the trains the women were called to work on, but the railroad tracks as well. Over the next several decades, women of different ethnicities became an asset to the MTA in various positions, such as executives, engineers, and motormen. Marion McAllister was not only the first female motorman, but the first African-American female motorman. It is women like her that have paved the way for many African-American women in transit.
I started out as a bus operator in service, and at that time there were not that many females out there. But it was an experience. From there I took a promotional to train operator, and in that I enjoyed being a train operator. It was like a totally new experience for me.
These new experiences for minority women in transportation
also meant other full-time careers in some unusual places.
In order to even cross over from our traditional roles as secretaries and clerks and things like that, we must be willing to take the Pepsi challenge. We must prepare ourselves, we must be determined that we're going to work hard, and we must not let anything stop us. It takes hard work and determination in order to be a successful woman in today's world.
They started burning and welding and everything, and I was all burned up out here on heels and stockings, and I liked it. And he said, "You're going to be a welder." I loved it ever since. And I really don't try to compete out here. I think a lot of the people try to compete with me when I first came out here because I am a woman. But they know I can weld. I can weld. I'm a first-class welder.
And transit is a good place to move up the ranks when you have goals.
Coming into transit in the late 80s, into contracts, going into stations, being the first female superintendent in track, then going into metro cars, and finally here at CES. So my journey here is a wonderful journey. I think opportunities for women in transit are great, but women have to apply themselves. They have to really stay focused, they have to plan their career out, they have to have a career pattern. They can't stay stagnant, they must move.
Some of the women started on a career path that brought them here to New York City Transit.
My first job was in the publishing world in college textbook editing. And while doing that, I found myself increasingly thinking, I don't want to be editing these things anymore. I want to do this work. So while there, I went back to school. I got a graduate degree in urban and regional planning, and then got a job at the New York City Transit Authority, actually, in the 80s. We have 4 bus garages in the Manhattan Division, and I oversee their operations. Basically, I think that my primary responsibility is to help the people who run those operations succeed. So it's my job to set a tone, set a direction, and then provide the resources that they need.
Some who already work for New York City Transit were encouraged by colleagues to not let gender be an obstacle.
At that time, most of the mentors were men. I mean, men who actually encouraged me to put in my resume and take the next step into management. And I got a lot of coaching from that side. So I'm very proud of the fact that New York City Transit does have people at the time and now men who are very receptive to the diversity, especially when it comes to women.
For some, their past experiences have helped shape them into the leaders they are today.
In 1993 or 94, I saved someone's life when I used to work the B8. I applied first aid, that I was trained in the military. So I saved someone's life on 18th Avenue. The skills that I picked up in the Army have helped me in the Transit Authority as interpersonal skills, as a people person, going to different scenes.
And what is their advice to other women on their way up?
My advice to any woman, young woman who wants to succeed in the corporate world is to be persistent.
That you can be anything you want to be in this world, that nothing can stop you and you're not too old.
If you're interested in it, it's much easier to get over those roadblocks. You have a kind of a dynamic quality that makes you want to get over them, and it's much easier.
Helen Cassidy was Transit's first female general counsel. She started as a file clerk and progressed to one of the city's top civil service attorneys. Joan Offner was the general counsel during the 1970s. In 1978, she played a key role in upholding the Transit Authority's refusal to hire methadone users. From the law department to law enforcement, women continue to play a significant role at New York City Transit. Teresa Coleman started with the NYPD 20 years ago on foot patrol. She moved up the ranks to become a sergeant before she retired from her position. Wanting to continue to serve the public, Teresa found her way to New York City Transit.
The advice that I would give the young ladies to come to New York City Transit Department, there are numerous opportunities and different directions you can go, from being a bus driver to being a manager to being an AGM, AGS. The opportunities are limitless when it comes to working with New York City Transit. Whatever you may want to do, you can do it.
What was one of the hardest things that you had to do as a New York City police officer?
As a police officer working with domestic violence, one of the hardest things that I had to overcome was the female wanting to leave, but afraid because of their resources, not enough income, not enough money, and they're afraid that they won't be able to make it on their own. So even with giving them housing and relocating them, they would still come back. and go to the offender. You know, it's very difficult when you're watching the same people come back over and over again, and then eventually I actually watch one person get killed in that process.
And how did that prepare you for your position here at the Transit Authority?
That prepared me for this job, and no matter how you think things are going to turn out, you have to be ready for the unexpected at all times. With the skills that I've learned at the police department, and that helped me to prepare myself for giving out assignments, assigning the personnel to the right position, letting personnel know that we're not the enemy. We're here to help them. And in whatever way we can enhance them to make them better, we're here to do that.
What advice would you give as to how to overcome the glass ceiling?
Education is the key to New York City transit success. Educate yourself. You cannot fail with education, period.
New York City Transit Authority is a land of opportunity for women and minorities looking to apply their skills within the agency. I'm Trina Moore reporting for Transit News.
This year's toy fair was so much fun. I saw toys that I actually played with when I was a kid, and some new ones I think I'm gonna start playing with now.
Toys have come a long way just in the past decade with all the new electronic components. But Thalia, I still love the classics. To me, a toy that lets you use your imagination without having to press a bunch of buttons is still the most fun.
I like the locomotives and the trains with the sounds and the smoke. They're so realistic, and it doesn't matter what age you are. The best part, your train is always on time.
And that is very true. And talking about time, we're out of time. If you have any questions, comments, or story ideas, email us at transitnews@nyct.com. I'm Lena Lansky. Thanks for watching.
And I'm Thalia Perez. Thanks for riding. Come on, Lena. Let's go check out some more stuff.
This program is sponsored in part by
Municipal Credit Union, serving the financial needs of our members since 1916. MCU, strong, trusted, growing.
Transit Check saves money for commuters, lowers payroll taxes for businesses, and it's also good for the environment. With Transit Check, everyone benefits.
The Transit Managerial Benevolent Association, protecting the rights of non-represented, active, and retired managerial employees within the Metropolitan Transportation Authority. Mike Landy, President.
Con Edison, on it, working for you 24/7. We're delivering reliable service, energizing your life, empowering your business. We're people helping people every day.
Transport Workers Union Local 100, representing the 35,000 men and women who move New York. We're New York's public transit union. John Samuelson, President.
And by the Patrolmen's Benevolent Association of the City of New York, fighting for the rights of the police officers who protect New York City. Patrick J. Lynch, President.